Hi everyone, I'm Brianna and welcome to Roll Initiative. Today I'm going to be going through some tips and tricks on running one-shots. So let's get started. So a one-shot is just the same as a normal campaign except for one major difference: time. So that's what we're going to be working on figuring out in this video, how to make a one-shot fit into the time we've got. So a one shot would be in a roughly 3 to 4 hours session. That's gonna vary depending on how much time you have and how much time you're putting into it. But working off that sort of time frame, you'd probably have time for maybe 3 things in your session: the beginning, the middle, and the end. You'd want one act in each. Like if you're breaking into a palace to kill an evil king, then you might spend the first one getting into the palace. You might spend the second one fighting the king, and I like to leave the end one for anything that might go over time. Like fighting the king might take longer than you'd thought, and it might have to take that time. Or something else might happen and you might need that time to end things off. And you probably won't want too much for them to interact with in the area that you're working with, as things could easily get sidetracked. Combat can be very time consuming, especially at higher levels. But if you use lower level bad guys to make it quicker, then it's no longer high stakes. But what you can do instead is to raise the attack power of a creature and lower its HP. That way, it deals more damage, but it doesn't last as long. That way, combat is still very high stakes, but it's over much quicker. As the amount of time we have is the main difference between a campaign and a one shot, we need to limit the amount of time that the players can spend on certain things. So, ways to do this is to make the location small, have the one shot based in a town or somewhere small, not a massive map. That will limit the amount of places they can go and the amount of different things they can do. Another massive time saving tip is to start them at the door of wherever the quest is. At the door of the dungeon, temple, town, wherever they're supposed to be to do the quest, because people underestimate how much time it can take for the party to get together. Whereas if you start right at the door and you can just narrate how they meet or who sent them on the quest, tell them beforehand, and then they're at wherever they're supposed to be and can start with the quest right away. But there you go. I hope my advice was helpful, and if it was, maybe you'd consider liking this video or subscribing to my channel. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.